Hey guys, I wanted to share with you the new Nespresso Creatista Plus by Breville. I just happened to come across this in a Nespresso newsletter that was sent out this past week and did a little searching online to try to find the machine and found out that it was just being rolled out into the US. It's been for sale in Australia where Breville is based, and I could not locate any of the machines in the US. Checked Amazon, checked Sir Latab, Williams Sonoma. Did find that Amazon Canada had them for sale, but they were out of stock, and there were about 8 reviews on Amazon Canada. So over the week I kept checking and noticed that Bloomingdale's was offering them on their website, but they were out of stock. Williams Sonoma began offering them on their website, but they were on back order until about November 8th. And Sir Latab said that they had them in stock, and their website allows for a store search, and they actually had them available in local stores in my area. So I was excited about the announcement of the Nespresso Creatista Plus by Breville. I currently am a Breville fan and have the Breville Oracle. I also have and use a Breville dual boiler at work and absolutely love the machine. The one thing that I don't love about it is when I'm in a rush in the morning. My coffee beans, if I have not used my coffee machine in a while, then obviously the coffee goes bad and you need to trash all the beans that you have and start from scratch. And that's where the pod system from Nespresso is great. When you're in a hurry, the pods are sealed, they're fresh, and they're ready to go. If you're not familiar with the Oracle has a built-in bean grinder and also has an automatic frothing wand, and it will automatically sense the heat or the temperature of the milk depending on how you set it, and based on your steaming and frothing settings will automatically stop the milk once it reaches that point. I tend to like my milk at about 107 or 160. There, the machine's finally heated up. 160 degrees when I make a latte. I'm a latte person, so usually leaving for work in the morning, I always make a latte. And that is the one feature that is impossible to find when you start looking at capsule systems like Nespresso. The Arrowchino, it does an okay job, but using the Arrowchino whisk inside never compares to actually having fully steamed milk. The Arrowchino also does not get it to 160 degrees. I think it gets it to about 140 or so, which is warm in my opinion. I prefer a hot latte. May not be the official correct way that the Europeaners make a latte, but my preference is definitely hotter than 140 degrees. So, going back to the Creatista Plus, when I saw that this had the same or very similar frothing wand, like the Oracle, and combined an automatic frothing wand with the single dispense feature of Nespresso capsules, I thought this was a perfect opportunity to try out the machine. It's interesting, the frothing wand, you can program how hot you want the milk to be, anywhere from 133 degrees up to about 166 degrees. So definitely a great feature there. The machine, while we've been talking, the Oracle had been heating up. It is a dual boiler machine. There's a lot more going on in that machine than there is in the Creatista. I'm sure this is just a thermoblock machine. But it's great because it takes 3 seconds to heat up. Show you the machine a little bit. I already obviously unboxed it. I was a little excited, but typical Nespresso box that the machine comes in, 19 bar pressure, 3 seconds to heat up. The assisted clean system for the steam wand. This is all in stainless steel. Of course, your Grand Cru selection. It comes with your standard set of Grand Cru to test, or sample pack, I should say. Again, another an image there. It does come with a Breville frothing pitcher, which is great. So the machine itself, again, if you're not familiar with Breville, the machine is extremely rugged, all stainless steel, has some great heft to it. You've got a great milk tank or water tank on the back. I don't have the actual capacity on me, but it does hold a significant amount of water. It could very easily be 64, 72 plus ounces. I'll have to check on that. The machine, you've got a drip tray that detaches down here. You have the little red warning bob that will pop up when the drip tray is full. Couldn't figure out what in the heck this thing was for. The Oracle doesn't have that near the Steam one. The Oracle senses the temperature with this little probe of the milk, and that's how it knows as it's steaming the milk where it's at. So this Panarillo, a little different. There is no probe down here. So looking at the instructions, it's interesting that this little probe is what actually senses the temperature on the bottom of the milk jug based on the settings that you program in for how hot you'd like your milk. You've got excellent width or height here for a cup. Travel mugs, we're going to start running into issues. Here's a typical, about a 12-inch latte cup. And I apologize, my sinuses are acting up, and so some of my words are coming out a little goofy. For smaller espresso, ristretto cups, you've got a nice little tray here. And then all of your capsules are behind. And again, if you notice, everything operates with a simple push, and it snaps back into place. Again, push, snaps back into place. Nice metal Nespresso lever here. And on the top, you've got a screen. You have start, cancel button, and a select button. Go ahead and turn the machine on. A nice welcome screen, and you're ready to go already. So, several settings in here. Now, I've already gone through the user setup, which is pretty simple. It has you test for water hardness. Breville provides you with a water hardness strip. That's pretty straightforward. Takes only 60 seconds to test for water hardness, and all that's going to do once you program into the machine what the water hardness is, it will help you, or the machine will auto prompt you when it's ready to be descaled and cleaned. So once you go through that and pick your language, then you're ready to go. So starting at the very beginning of the menu, depending on the beverage that you would like to make, it starts off with the ristretto, and that's about 0.85 ounces. The ristretto. Now, if you hit the selector button here, it will allow you to change the volume. Going back to default, espresso, it automatically defaults to about 1.35 of an ounce for espresso. You have lungo, flat white. Now here you start getting into your milk-based beverages. So if you select that, you can select your milk, you can select your coffee volume, next your milk temp, and it took me a while to figure this out because it's confusing. It says milk froth up top and setting 1, wasn't sure what that meant. But if you select that, you can actually change that all the way up to setting 8, back down to the standard setting 1, and you'll see as you're changing it, it'll give you this little white dotted line so you know where your standard baseline was. Moving on, you have cafe latte with your same settings down below. You've got a cappuccino, latte macchiato. Then you have just milk settings, steam purge for your wand, maintenance settings, and then general settings. So the one thing I really wanted to highlight on this intro video was any of these milk-based drinks. I'll do a latte since that's what I typically drink. Compared to the Oracle, which as you're selecting how much foam you'd like, more foam, cappuccino, this little arrow you would change it, or less foam, more steamed milk for latte. You can select that. Again, you can also select the temperature. So I was kind of expecting the exact same thing on the Creatista Plus. Unfortunately, when you're changing milk temperature, oh, I just realized that. That's nice. Cool. So no heat. But when you're changing milk temperature, you go from warm to ideal to hot. Turn it again, very hot. I turn it again, very hot. Turn it again, still very hot. Turn it again, very hot. There is absolutely nothing in the manual or here on the screen that tells you what the temperature is. So there's no way to know, am I 160 degrees at ideal? Am I 100? Well, we know at very hot, the max temp is about 160, I think it was about 166. So that's 166. So I could assume going down one notch is 160, but I don't know what the increments are as you continue to go down. Same thing with milk. We'll pick ideal, go back into milk. I don't know, setting 8 is going to be max foam, and setting 1, I'm going to assume, is just steamed milk. So somewhere in the middle. This one you're going to have to definitely play with to figure out how much it's foaming and steaming, but I think I'm most bothered by the temperature milk. I would have really loved to have seen the temperatures on here. Besides that, everything else is pretty straightforward. I'm not going to brew anything just yet, but it is interesting if I select a latte and leave all the settings standard and then hit start. What it would do first is actually brew the Nespresso pod, and then your Nespresso's gonna sit in the glass, and then it will tell you it's done, and then you have to push start again, and it will begin your milk. Whereas I would prefer to have the milk steamed first, followed by the shot second, just because the shot is sitting there and getting cool while you're waiting about a minute to a minute and a half for your milk to steam, depending on how much milk you have in there and how hot you make it. Of course, those times are all going to change. So you can get around that by getting out of the menu here and simply just selecting milk. So you can start the milk first, and then you'll have to manually scroll over to whatever shot you want to pull, be it a ristretto or an espresso or a lungo shot for your milk-based drink. So far, those are my two main takeaways of the machine as far as usability, but they are absolutely, it's a fantastic machine so far for what it is. It's retailing in stores right now for $5.99. I think MSRP is about $8.99. Sorry about that. So $5.99 Williams-Sonoma sur la table. The Oracle runs about $19.99. So again, these are two completely different machines, but what I'm looking forward to in the Creatista Plus is the consistency with the capsules, and I think once I can figure out the best or ideal milk temperature and milk frothing settings, we'll be good to go. And it should make for a pretty straightforward and easy routine in the morning for making my latte. I'll definitely follow up with a video to show an actual steaming of the milk and a pool of espresso. Definitely feel free to leave any comments below, ask any questions. Again, super excited that this machine is out and available, and look forward to seeing what you guys have to say. Take care.